Hello there, this is Coach Pat at Barry's Boxing Center, 3664 South Highland Avenue, where we teach the science, not the violence. So come down and check us out. Today we're going to have a little bit of a hands-on approach, literally hands-on, because we're going to show how to wrap a hand. It's a reusable wrap, so you can take it off after your workout, let it dry out a little bit, and then the next day use it again. Maybe just put a little more tape around the wrist. You'll see as we go on and as we put the hand wrap on, how we take it off and how we save it to be reused for really up until you decide you need another pair. But they're relatively inexpensive. All you need is a pair of gauze and a roll of tape and a scissor to cut with, and we can get going. We got our I'm sorry, your first name again? Jorge is going to come and be our helper today. We're going to wrap his hand, and you're going to see how it is. Go ahead, Jorge, have a seat. First thing you do is just like a regular hand wrap. You're just going to take the arm, rub it out, get the circulation going. Whenever you put any kind of wrap on over the hand, it does you good to get the circulation, make sure that it's running so you don't get it on too tight, and then it becomes painful. You have to take it off, add more tape to it, or cut some tape out of it, whatever the case is. But today we're going to go with Jorge. I got him going. I stretched out his fingers. I take the wrap, regular gauze, roller tape. And what makes this hand wrapping a little different is that we're going to start a little differently, because instead of putting the gauze on first, so we can reuse this, we're going to put the tape on first. But the tape is not going to go on the normal way when you put the sticky side down. You're actually going to put the sticky side up. So we're going to go ahead and start right about where we normally would, with the sticky side up. Bring it around. And from this point on, we're just going to act like we're doing a regular hand wrap, which we are, like I say, except we got the sticky side of the tape up. Okay, does that feel right? Okay. And when you're doing hand wraps, no matter whether they're the reusable ones or even getting ready for fight time, you always want to communicate with your boxer and make sure he feels comfortable, his hand feels good, he's got no injuries or no pain in the hand. There's any problems with your hand at all? Or, okay. So there's no special modifications we got to make. We're just going to keep going as if we're doing the taping. Make a tight fist. Give yourself a little bit of room behind the knuckles. Open up. Good. Right around the hand. Okay, so we got a nice base on there. We got the tape on, and remember, it's the sticky side up. You take the gauze, just pull it out a little bit, put it right on top of the tape, and just, again, like you're regularly wrapping a hand, or wrapping a hand regularly, nice and relaxed around the thumb. I always like to make sure that's a real good support area, because that's a couple of real valid joints in there. You got the wrist, you got the thumb, you got the knuckle. So I go around 5 times. And if you notice, when I go around the hand, I just kind of roll over on top of it with my thumb. Just make sure that it is flat and it's comfortable form. Then we'll bring it up. We'll go right around mid hand, around the wrist, right up here, again, around mid hand, smooth it out. There you go. And we're going to come right down around the knuckles. I like to bring it right to the first knuckle. This way, when you do make a fist and the gauze rolls up a little bit or pulls up a little bit, it comes up and you still got a solid cushioned area on the knuckles, which is the whole purpose of having hand wraps. What is the whole purpose of having hand wraps? Why they look good? No, they feel good. They make you punch harder. No, they protect the hands. That's what hand wrapping is all about. It's about protecting the hands. So that's what we're trying to do, is make sure we have a good wrap that's going to protect the hands. I'm going to ask you to hold this for 1 second. I'm just going to, just one gauze. I've got a pre-wrapped cushion. What I did is I just took half of the roll of the gauze and I double rolled it around my fingers. So I have a nice cushioned area, and I put that right over the top. And I come up right about the middle, right about the middle. How's that feel? Okay. Okay. Make sure that's secured on his hand. Then I'm going to take the extended area and roll it up. Keep your fingers spread. There you go. Can you spread them good? Good. Then I'm going to go up over the top. All right, so I got a nice soft cushion area now on top of the gauze itself. Again, made with the existing gauze. And for the same purpose, not to hit harder or punch harder, but to protect the hands. Make a tight fist. There we go. And extend the hand a little. There you go. We're going to come down around the wrist. Open. Good. Nice and tight. Spread your fingers. I want to make sure I don't get it too tight. So you always remind the boxer, stretch your fingers, because in a relaxed mode, it's easy for them to bring their fingers together. And before you know it, you're wrapping a hand that's got the fingers close together. And when they make a fist and they extend or expand, then all of a sudden the hand wrap that felt nice and comfortable is now a little too tight. So you got to keep making sure that the fighter extends his fingers. Nice, right?
Yep.
That feels good?
Yes.
I'm going to work my way back up again one more time around the wrist, around the thumb, and I'm going to finish right up here around the wrist. Get that? That's just comfort for you. There you go. And that's what the towel is. I put it on the chair just for comfort for the boxer, so his wrist doesn't fall asleep while I'm wrapping. And then we finish right up here. Now I just take one strip of tape and go right around the ending of the gauze so it'll stay in place. Okay? Feels good?
Yeah, feels good.
Okay. Now I'm going to take the hand, I'm going to turn it around. I'm just going to look, and I'm going to separate the punching cuff, the palm of the hand, and the wrist area up here, and make sure that it's breathable. I've got room, and I can put the tape in between when it comes time to put the tape in. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around again. And now I'm going to actually put the tape on that I would do, again, wrapping the hand. And if you would, make sure the wrist stays a little bit upward. There you go. And you got to communicate with the boxer. Like I said, that's really all it is, communication. There's a lot of things that can stop from having an incident where you have the hand all wrapped and all of a sudden the boxer's getting ready to put his hand in the glove and it's, coach, this doesn't feel right. And then you got to say, well, time out, come here, let me see. And you got to make all these modifications. And trust me, experience is the best teacher. I've got the experience. I've got the age, but I've got the experience. I've done it the wrong way many times. But with communication, I find that it's a lot easier to get it done the right way. I go around the thumb, come back up around the hand, And you just ask the boxer while you're in the process. Again, feels good? Make a tight fist again. Because now I'm going to make sure I bring the tape at least 1 inch behind the knuckles, so there's no trouble with any of the regulations. I'm going to come up again. And again, if there are any problems, that doesn't mean you're a failure at wrapping hands. Just everybody's hands are different. So all of a sudden he says to me, "Yeah, I feel a little tight." I said, "Well, when did it start feeling tight? Just then?" "Yes." "Okay, well now I got it narrowed down. Now I can just unwrap that piece of tape and see what the problem was." Everything feels good? Yeah. All right. So now I bring it around. Again, I got my little hole made up there, the breathing room where I can put the tape. These are just a regular, I take it about 10 inches and I tear it down the middle. So I've got 2 pieces. It makes it right about the right size to just fit right over the cuff area there, and I can tuck it inside. I just swirl the tape here so it rolls together. Tight fist. There's no irritation in between the fingers. And I put it right up here. And I ask you, is that good? Yeah. Okay. I like to put just a little bit of tape just to secure it. When I take the small break and reach over and get the other piece, if you don't do that, sometimes you'll come back to the hand and that tape will have come undone, and then you'll have to do it over again. So this is all just for precaution. Turn it around again. I'm going to stick it between the hand and the pinky finger. Again, you don't have to put the gauze on so tight that you have no room to work. If you put it on like we've done this time here, it's room to breathe, and I can actually put my hand behind the back there and put the tape in. Same thing, swirl the remaining part of it. Okay, tight fist. And I feel for the knuckle at this point. I can feel for it. All right. I want to put it right in the knuckle area. That little valley between the 2 knuckles. Okay, another just a precaution, small piece of tape to keep the tape that's on the hand comfortable. Let's try this one. All right. Again, this towel is nothing more than just trying to make a little comfort for the boxer. And maybe so the hand won't slide off the chair, because that can happen too. A little bit of sweat on the arms, and all of a sudden, the hand you're wrapping is all of a sudden off to the side of the chair. And so here we go. It's simple stuff. It's not rocket scientist. The biggest thing is to tight fist, communication between you and the boxer, and putting that initial tape on in the beginning where you have the sticky side up. That's putting that tape on with the sticky side up is, like I say, it's a secret because I'm telling you all right now. But it's one of the keys to getting the hand wrap on properly and being able to reuse it. So now I got the tape inside where it's supposed to be. I got the tape in between the fingers. Now this is the remainder of the roll that I'm allowed to use. Again, everything is within USA Boxing rules and regulations, or the Nevada Athletic Commission rules and regulations for hand wrapping. You're allowed to use a half a roll of tape on each hand. There you go. Right on around. I pinch it off there again just for the boxer's comfort, so it's in between the thumb. I come up over the top, down, right around what I just did again. Nice tight fist. I asked him to make a tight fist so I can see the exact lineage where it's supposed to be, so it's that 1 inch. And your index finger from where the last bend to the fingertip is a real good sign of 1 inch. So you're right within regulation. Open up. See, communication. I tell the boxer when to close it. I tell him when to open it up. So he doesn't close it when I don't expect him to, and he pinches the tape, and we resolve that by just making sure that when you're doing this, you stay in communication with the boxer. And here I go again now, right around the base of the hand, one more time around the thumb. pinch it off, and straighten the hand out. And then we're going to finish right here at the wrist. I like to finish at the same spot each time, makes it a little easier. You find out when you start doing a lot of hand wrapping, if you have your system, you know, where you start the tape, where you end the tape, it makes it a lot easier. If in fact you do have to make any repairs or modifications later on, you know how to, you know, it's kind of like a little bit of a plumbing trick. So here we go. We got the wrist wrap, we got the thumb nice and secure, we got the top of the hand covered well so all the bones there are protected. And again, the whole purpose of hand wrapping is protection of the hand. Okay, make it a cast, coach. You know that's not going to happen, and if it does, it's illegal. So you just use the tape and the gauze that's allotted to you, but you put it on properly, and you have a nice finished product. This is a good looking hand wrap, right? I mean, I'd be proud to wear this hand wrap anyway. But you got the wrist covered well, you got the thumb, you got the top of the hand for the bones, the small bones there, and then you got the hand itself taped around. So that's how you make a reusable hand wrap. Now you say, well, how do I reuse it? Well, it's very simple. At this point, I just take a cut right down the wrist. Right straight down the wrist. Okay? Then I just kind of peel it off. I just bring it around. A little help from the boxer. Working his fingers out. And you work your fingers on the inside. There you go. Then you straighten it out. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I give a 24-hour period just for safety's sake, because what he's done is with the hand on, with the gauze, the hand's a little sweaty, so it gets a little moisture in here with the tape. So putting more tape on top of it makes it a bit of a trick. But there's not much to do. You see the inside here, it's all covered in tape. I'll let this dry, and tomorrow what I would do is I just take this, and when it's dry, I just bring my tape and just go right down the edges. Any frayed areas, the top along the line, again the frayed area on the side, around the thumb. And then it's a complete hand wrap. You've got all you got to do it the next day, which tomorrow or the following day. When I retaped it, all he's gonna have to do is slip his hand in there, put this back on again, bring it center so the middle meets or close to it. When it dries, it may shrink a little bit, and maybe a little bit of space down the line here, but that's okay. It's breathing room. Just bring it close together. Bring your tape and just wrap around the wrist area. You don't have to go over any more of the hand wrap, just the wrist area, and then you can use it. Then when he's done, you just cut that line again. That same space is open for you. All you're doing is cutting that 1 day's worth of tape. Just cut that down, peel it off, let it dry out. The next day, reuse the same way, and you don't have to reuse do any more of the taping on the side, because that'll be done. And it's even easier the second day, and the third day, and the fourth day, until they get where he feels that he needs a new pair. As you go along, what are you doing each day? You're putting the tape around the wrist. So maybe at the end of each week, just when it's open, you take the end and you just pull that excess tape off. And it comes off just like you're peeling a banana or peeling an orange. It just comes right off. Just take that right off, throw that away, and the next week start fresh again. And again, the hand wrap's there and very reusable, and it'll stay good up until normally I get 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how well the boxer takes care of himself. This is the hand wrap. This is the padding area. It's a good, safe hand wrap, and it's going to protect you. And it only takes minutes to literally put on and take off. The only time invested is when you first put it on, maybe every 2 or 4 weeks. It'll take maybe 10 to 15 minutes of putting a good hand wrap on your boxer. I find it communicates, gives you time to communicate with your boxer, a little bit of attachment time where you get comfortable wrapping his hand, he gets comfortable to you wrapping his hand, and it'll just add to a better wrapping when the boxer does compete. Okay, thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. And remember, Barry's Boxing, 3664 South Highland Avenue, where we teach the science, not the violence.